cars. The S4, for us, we really think of it as a cult car. When it came out in 1999, it really puts us in the edge of performance at that time. And similar can be said, I think, for the S5, which was introduced back in 2007 with the V8 platform, and really was sort of a kickoff for the whole A5 car line, and provided, I think, a really nice springboard also for that generation. And if you look at sort of the evolution of the S4s over time, we've obviously captured a lot of great fans over the years. We've sold well over 50,000 of these over the different generations of cars, and they really provided sort of always the next step in performance, and you can see that. And it's nice to see that some of you guys were actually with us back in 1999 when we launched the B5. The B5 was an amazing car for us, very iconic for Audi, obviously. That was obviously the 2.7-liter bi-turbo at the time. Great performance car. And then we continued that with the naturally aspirated V8 generation, which was the V6, as well as the so-called V7, which was the 2005 and a half model year, as we so like to call it. And then, of course, came the V8 generation in 2008, 2009. At that time, what was interesting about this car is that we have at that time eliminated the sort of the middle engine for the A4. So the S4 really became the upgrade and the performance step up from the basic engine in the A4 car line. And that really, for us, turned into quite a winning formula. And I think you can see that now. If you look at the S4, we are achieving well over 10% mix. In the A4 car line, we're typically somewhere in the 12 to 15% mix, depending on the month. And in the S5, obviously a smaller base of volume, we do about 30 to 35% mix of the S model. So again, this is for us a very important and very successful concept that we have really then transported into the other car lines like the S6 and of course the S8 as well. So the S4 was an important first step, and that happened back in 2009 when we launched the 2010 S4, which was the V8 generation of this platform. And of course now here we are launching the so-called B9, the 9th generation of the B platform, and of course a great performance car. You can see that over the years, mid 6 second was quite a good number back in 1999, but taking that to now to 2017, 4.4 seconds 0 to 60, definitely something I think we can be proud of on an upgrade motor of the A4. Now, the S4 buyers, or the S buyers in general, they are typically people that obviously like to drive. I think that goes without saying. They obviously buy these cars because of performance, and they tell us that they also like to go driving just for fun. And I think tomorrow, as you experience these cars, you're going to see that some of the features that we built into these cars definitely speak to that audience specifically. They're very loyal to us, and they, of course, are the following that look for the next generation product typically. And they typically only consider these types of products when they shop for the S4 and the S5. So this is a good audience for us. It's an audience that also captures a lot of the so-called Tier 1 luxury brands. So for us, it's a very important audience, and one that we definitely like to cater to with these very special products. So I'm here to basically conclude now and let you know that this is definitely the best S4 and the best S5 yet. I think the formula that we have in here is really perfect. We have all new engine in both of these cars, which you're going to hear about more in the morning, and all the specifics that went into it to create this really strong performance on the car. 4.4 seconds 0 to 60, and a great emotional sound that you're going to hear tomorrow from all these cars as well. Driving dynamics and emotional response is also something we built into these cars. Strong emphasis on performance hardware in these cars. If you look at the brake setup, if you look at the suspension, the steering, as well as the transmission and engine working all together, so you're gonna, I think, get a really great performance experience. And hence Quattro, because that is of course inherent to us. And what we mean by Quattro Sport is of course the rear differential, which is also now new and upgraded. a high level of standard equipment, and this to us goes again to the level of attainability and to the level of standard equipment that we're including in these cars. This is approximately $52,000 car off the lot that you can drive, and it really has pretty much all you need when it comes to everyday driving. So this is a very strong value proposition, and again, a key to the formula of the success for our S models. Award-winning technology, if you look at our driver assistance systems, if you look at driver-oriented virtual cockpit, those are some of the features, and again, features that are exclusive to us that obviously these vehicles offer. And last but not least is, of course, the S-specific design. But enough about that. I think it's more important now to hear some more details about the design. And again, I think it's perfect to sort of think about it this way. These are now very, very competitive segments, the A4 and the A5, as you know, very tough segments that are not growing very much and are really, really tough to compete in. And if you really consider what you need the best of everything. And if you look at what Audi has done, we've called on our designer who basically worked on the first gen R8 and who worked on our Le Mans race cars. And we said, okay, Frank, now you gotta go and work on our B segment sedan and B segment coupe, because that's really where we gotta go compete. And I think they pick no one better. So with that, I'd like to introduce Frank Lamberti, and he will tell you more about what he's done on these wonderful cars. Thank you very much. Frank?
Thank you very much.
All you.
Welcome from my side. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Philip, to be here in Palm Springs. That's great. That's amazing. And actually, this is the first presentation I'm doing where the A4 is right beside the A5. Now I can touch my own work. And actually, I have to think back. We started the project 6 years ago. Time is flying. One of the tasks at that time was, because in the B segment, the cars, the car member of the B segment raised up. In former times we had 2 cars, 2 models. Today we got 6 cars. A 4 family with 3 cars, sedan, wagon, and over, and a 5 family with the coupe, cabrio, sportback. And in between also we have those lines up from a base model to S model to S model, RS model, whatever. So there's a bunch of work, and one of the big tasks at the beginning was we have to clarify, we have to differentiate the A4 family strongly from the A5 family. Give those families different own characters. And this is where we're going to start the presentation of the design. When we take a look at this little chart, there are some pictures of images there. They really pretty much describe what we have thought about the worlds we wanted to put in the cars. So this here is the world of the A4 when we started. And there are some basic pictures, and they're not chosen by default because they have a sense for us. And this is our guidance also for the designing of the cars. So we say the A4 design has to be clean, pure, prestigious. And this diamond stands also for the design architecture, how we treated the car, how we treated the surfacing. I will explain you later more in depth. Yeah? But it's like this clean, puristic design, sharp lines, everything prestigious. The second picture shows a little bit the world. The A4 world is, this is the cool car. Yeah? It's the relaxed car. And we have chosen this kind of ice world, which is a little bit techy. And also, if you take a look, this ice is formed by the elements, by the wind, whatever, and then you get some really interesting, strong shapes. I will explain it later on the car where you can see it. The third picture is always important. For sure, it has to be an Audi. It's the first DNA aspect. But we put it in also in a really high-tech, in a technical look, a really sharp, strong look for the A4. Now I'm going to show you how we transferred this ideas on this picture into the car. It may look a little bit cheesy on the first moment, but here you can really see how we transferred this diamond idea into the car, especially on the front end. And this is also the point why this car is really sharp shaped and really sculptured. Like if you start doing a diamond, you have a full volume, and you start cutting off some edges, and by edges, they're creating lines. And this was really the idea about the front end of this car. And if you take a look finally on the car, or if you go in the next picture, there's a lot of that in. There's a lot of this Audi. There's a lot of this logic of the lines. And you can feel the diamond shape. You can see the strong, prestigious impression of the car. You also can feel it on the rear end, how we treated the rear lights and all that stuff. If we go to the side view, the idea was to do a really pure, clean design. Timeless, I would say. This was the idea behind it, like the diamond as well. And the most important thing here is this really strong character line, which starts on the headlights in the front, runs through till the end, right in between, right into the rear lights. This gives a lot of elegance, coolness, length. And what you see, the line is done really, really interesting. And our tuning guys from the production, they really freaked out because it wasn't easy to create this line. You will see later on the model. This is this kind of carving out. This is this kind of what we saw on this landscape where the ice and the wind went through. And you can also feel it down here in the rocker element. So this was the picture for the side view. We discussed a lot if we should do it. Yeah, we did it just for a short moment. V8, V9, just to see what happened, just to see how the car changed. This car, a little bit soft, yeah. This car really more heart-shaped, more precision, more technical. So that was the idea behind that, and this is what you can see, what you can feel. Good, A4 family. Now let's jump to the A5 family. I said before, the job was more differentiation. This is the cool car. Here we have the more emotional car. So we changed also the environment, we changed the world, we changed also the treatment of the surfacing. And yeah, we took out this picture. Now we have a more warm picture, way more floating. This dune shows pretty much the architecture of the A5. There's a lot of shadow, light, a lot of strong lights, warm, emotional, fluid lights. This picture just shows, we're talking about a sports car, but it's not a super sports car, it's a GT. A GT. So a GT is a car which combines eleganceness with sportiness. This picture just stands for that because they are really elegant. They are fighting. And they have to be really precise just to catch. And exactly this is the picture what we wanted to bring in the car, the A5. Last picture also, we have a DNA. We have a strong DNA, an Audi DNA. And we also have to think about it's a family member. It's the mother car, the coupe. But you also have to think about the cabrio and about the sport rig. Now, this is this is my lovely part. Does anybody realize what this is? Very good, very good. So, we in design, especially at Audi, we say you have a strong, iconic car. If you can sketch it with a few lines, just 2, 3, you don't need more. And actually, there are a few cars out there, also in the historic, you can do, but not on everybody. This here is the character line of the A5. And the point was, we have a strong predecessor, and if you analyze this car, you come out with 2 major design elements. This is one. I call it the A5 wave, or let's say the Audi wave. And I want to stress this a little bit. This is not just coming by default, this is coming from our history. Does anybody realize what that car is?
What's the unit?
Silver Arrow.
Fantastic.
No.
Unbelievable. Mid-30s, so over 80 years old, they developed that race car. And this race car really defined a lot of the DNA for Audi till today. We have this really strong wheels, you have this really nice aerodynamic shape, form, and you have this kind of floating line. I want to tell another story about this one, but it's important. Those cars, that time, also with the Mercedes-Benz cars, have been called silver arrows. And there's a reason for it. It was about weight, saving weight. They didn't paint the car, and those cars came in aluminum, because this was the high-tech and sporty material at this time. And they didn't paint the car because they saved weight on that. And that's the reason why they are silver, shiny silver, and they're called silver arrow. And this is one of the strong traditions as well we have at Audi. And I just point this out because later on I will see a connection to the S models. If we see that sketch, I just roughly did it. I don't know if somebody realizes that. So, this is actually the first year production car. We really introduced this kind of wave in a really sporty way, in a strong way. And this wave has one advantage. I go back to the A5 wave. Here, the wave is done way more elegant, way more floating, but it's the same idea behind it. It's great. Because we have a quattro. We have quattro system, and this is how we pronounce the quattro. The wave shows in the three-dimensionality where's the power, where's the wheels. And nobody else has a line like this, just Audi. Because we are quite balanced because of the quattro. So this is design key number 1 for the A5. Design key number 2 for the A5 is the cabin, or let's say especially the seat post. This is a really strong, elegant line, which gives this GT feeling of the car. And this line is the characterful moment of the A5, just for the A5. And this is also coming a little bit from the Ur-Quattro, yeah, who had this really strong seat post. With those two elements, you define the A5. That's it. And that's perfect. This is gold because you don't need more, and you have to save this. But for sure, we have to do a car out of it. So please take a look. There's coming a little animation. We have to add some more elements. We have to spin packages. We have to create a car with headlights and whatever. And finally, you see, this is the definition of the A5. You see the whole car. And this is what we can judge then, right now, on the car in a few minutes. Here you see how it came alive. There are a few strong elements. Here you see the elegant, sporty character line, but you see also the logic of Audi. The shut line is disguised in here, so we don't have any shut line on the hood, disturbing. So we use this line, and we played a lot with this kind of light and shadow, what we saw before on the steering. So there is always to see the form. What else we gave to the A5? It went way more muscular. It has a lot of power in the car, and we pronounce the quattro not just with the wave, we just also on top with some strong muscles. If we switch over, I just want to remind the design theme has to work not just for the mother car, for the coupe, it has to work also for the cabriolet and also for the sportback, and I think we did quite well. It's working quite nice. Ladies and gentlemen, for now, I'm finished with this presentation. We have the two cars here. You can take a look by yourself. You can judge if we did the differentiation, yes and no. And if you wish, just get up, not to get lazy right now before the dinner. I just want to point out a few little things on the cars, on the models, and especially we are talking about the S4 and the S5. S4, S5 have different more sporty bumpers, yeah, and they have the game is the aluminum. So this is the connection with the Audi Union 8 years ago. They have a strong aluminum grill inside here. They have really sporty bumpers with also aluminum pieces on the side intakes, and there's also functionality. Those openings, they are not by default. There is an aerodynamic feature here it's running through. If you take a look, you see this diamond shape, really straight, tough, but also with a prestigious grille, single frame. And then please take a look at this character line. We also disguised the shut line down in this character line, which is running through all of the car to the rear end. On the rear end, we have also our special S signature with aluminium in the diffuser, and for sure our quad exhaust pipe system. If you take a look at the A5 now, I think, especially on the front end, you see a lot of a difference. This has this straight look. Here we have this GT feeling, this GT look. And we have a total different treatment of the hood and of the front. What happened? Actually, we squeezed the grille. While here it's warm up, it's more squeezed, lower, and wider. Yeah? Also the angles are more sporty. And we played also this aluminium, but way more dramatic than on this one, because this is the emotional car. This is the sporty car. This is the beauty car. And here you have a different treatment of this aluminium. I just would say it looks like a hammerhead shark a little bit, yeah? But this is from signature as well. And you also have the function here. Oh yes, it looks a little bit different than this one because the headlights are a little bit more up. The grill is lower. Why is that? This is coming from the GT, Gran Turismo. Yeah? GTs, especially back from the 60s, they always have this feeling you have a low grill and the headlights sit on top. And this is what we wanted to achieve this time as well. So the headlights are really higher than here, and the grill is really lower than here, so you have a more sporty impression. Most obvious thing, we have a power dome. This is also a hint to the GT power dome. That means I have a lot of power in there. I'm so strong. I need to add something on the hood. It's right there. And if you take a close look, it's really pointing to the rings. Fantastic. If you take a look later on in detail, just take a look how nicely all this grill thing is treated. It's also really nice. Now it's getting a little bit tough for me, because on the side view, we have also something special on the A5, which is not on the A4. We have this kind of element here. Take a look later. It's also coming in aluminum, but the S5 is placed. This is also a GT feature, and it brings the hood more to the back, makes the hood optically longer. We have this really strong and precise treatment of this line. You have to take a look how close the radiuses are and how this is bended, and also how strongly this blister is bended on top. And then take a look at those muscles. That's sportiness, that's cool. On the rear end, you see the same signature like on the S4. There's an aluminum band running around, the quad 4 exhaust pipes, sporty, diffuser, S, and we have a little spoiler lip on both of the models. Did I forget something? No. Actually, I'm really happy to be here because I want to, this is my last word now, I want to point something out. It's a dilemma. We designers sit in a hall, secretly covered, because nobody should see what we are doing. The problem is, even we don't see what we are doing. We don't get the cars out too much. Sometimes we get them out, and we touch the form, the shape of it. But what we never can do is a new car putting on the street and take a look how it looks like in the environment. And what's also really important is the cars and the shapes change in the light situation. That's the reason why we're here in Palm Springs. Here we have the perfect conditions. Super light, super environment. And I'm looking forward tomorrow to see the cars outside. And one more point, the cars and the design is changing when the cars are driving and they're in motion. I'm looking forward to see the cars out there. And I wish you to enjoy the ride, enjoy the performance, and enjoy the design. Thank you very much. I'm here tonight. I'm here tomorrow as well. If you have questions, if you want to go in a design chat, every time I'm there. And I think now you can take a look at the cars, or you go directly to the dinner. Thank you very much. I need a beer.
Thank you. That was great. You can tell you're really proud of this car. It's really fun to see. Hey guys, as you can tell, I'm here in California, Palm Springs, for the launch of the, let me show you, can you guess? Yes, S4 and S5. And tomorrow morning they're going to do the more technical presentation where they're going to talk about the horsepower and the torque and all that kind of stuff that you're interested in, pricing, availability. We're going to be doing that tomorrow at 8 a.m. PST. So come back tomorrow at PST, Pacific Standard Time. If you want to learn more about these cars, we'll be doing it live again. This was the design and kind of broad overview. Once again, I want to thank you guys for joining us. We're trying to do these live videos. I'll do a little walk around the cars before I sign off so you can kind of get a better look at them before I go to dinner. So let's go. Let's get a car. There you go.
Because I didn't realize that.
This is the S5. The interior is really gorgeous. What if the door's open? Shall we try? Oh, they locked it. Guess that would be not open. I love the color. Let's look around the back. Of course, you have to have the quad exhausts. That's how you know you're in the S model. And of course, you know it by this. If you guys are Audi fans, you know that the S models have these chrome colored, in this case, dark chrome colored rear view mirrors. You guys like the LED lights? Those are pretty badass. Look at that. That is a really cool. Audi started that, and everybody's has since then kind of gone to having a signature headlight, but Audi was the first, as I recall, to do that. And designers look at the headlights of cars as kind of like their bling. And of course, I think Audi does some of the best headlights in the business. Let's walk over here. Let's look at this car. And according to the designer, of course, this is much more emotional, much sexier. Same light pattern, of course. And of course, there's the power hood. Interior on this car is absolutely stunning. Look at that. Gotta love Gotta love red leather interiors. Square bottom steering wheel. Big S calipers. People will know that you're in the S when you're driving this. And of course, once again, the quad exhaust. It lets you know you're not in your everyday Audi A5 or A4. So I will be driving these tomorrow. Look for a full review coming as soon as I can film it and edit it. And thanks for joining us for this tech design.
Wow, that is pretty.
Yeah, no whale penis leather in this car. That's not very German. That's a very Russian thing, I believe. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us, and join me again tomorrow morning at 8 when we go over all the tech specs. See you guys next time. Ciao.